the discussion in my quality of being a doctor, OBGYN, MPH, entrepreneurial, mother of 2 children speaking French and a little bit of English. So let's have the floor first, and let's have my 4 panelists to introduce themselves. And the honor will go to Madame Reynatu. She's going to start speaking English and French. Eventually, I will translate.
She was sitting here.
I'm gonna add her chair in for oh, that's her seat. Be respectful.
And let's give a round of applause for our previous panelists. So, last but not least, let's dive into our last panel, which is health as a cornerstone for achieving the SDG. We are today, March the 14th, 2030, 5 more years to go on this continent. If you are from Africa, we are at Agenda 63. But that doesn't mean that we have to lag. So I'm going to have the pleasure to introduce you, and each of you will introduce herself, and then we will go from questions and then I want it to be interactive, but not that much because of time and also because we have so much to cover, but we will still leave the opportunity to the audience to participate and to say something and what we can, the call of action eventually, what we did, what we didn't do, anyway. So, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Yiling Li. Because the time is too short, I believe everybody will hungry now. So I'm in UCT Culture Center. We organize different events, include very important events, good health and well-being, the number 3rd, UN 17 SDG. So good health and well-being exactly is what we need to discuss now. So, and also I just want simple introduce. You see this happiness, and this is friendship, and this is peace, and this is China-Africa friendship forever. And all this message is very positive message. We deliver the message for which everybody healthy, wealthy, and happiness. So we will discuss later in detail, and thank you so much. Welcome. Thank you.
Je suis Madame Ibrahim Minatou. Je suis institutrice de profession.
She's a teacher,
French teacher.
teacher of French teacher.
Je suis institutrice de profession et j'interviens dans beaucoup d'organisations.
She intervened in with a lot of non-profits.
Pour la protection des orphelins et l'assistance des orphelins.
Protect the orphan and,
Les orphelins.
okay, she works with orphanage and orphan.
J'ai été violentée chez moi lors d'un accouchement.
She has been a victim of sexual abuse while, she was the victim when she was giving birth. She was the victim of violence.
J'ai été victime lors de l'accouchement. La sage-femme a provoqué l'accouchement.
Okay, yes, so, sorry. So during the delivery, the midwife induced the delivery.
Elle m'a introduit un produit qui s'appelle Cytotec, que partout au monde on ne peut pas introduire ça chez une femme.
She introduced inside a product that we call Ocytocin
Cytotec,
and Cytotec. That's a product that you cannot put inside.
c'est ça qu'elle a mis. Bon, elle devait partager un cadre pour me mettre.
She
J'ai un
should
cadre
have-
sous
She
la
should
lèvre.
have break it down and it should have been sublingual, but instead she inserted
Et
inside.
elle a mis le produit entier dans mon utérus. Du coup, mon utérus s'est nécrosé.
So she used the whole produce inside, and as a consequence of that, uterus liposis.
Right.
Et en même temps, j'étais inconsciente, je me suis évanouie.
And she lost consciousness.
Et j'ai accouché inconsciemment. Et il y a des femmes à côté, 7 femmes qui ont appuyé sur moi pour que le bébé sorte parce que je m'étais évanouie.
She lost consciousness. She went into labor, and in order to expel the baby, she was assisted. Not she. They forced her. Several people around pushed the baby out.
Et elles ont gardé mon aile gauche.
Oh no!
Le fait
Then, by doing that,
It's the
they hurt the
Yep.
right kidney.
elles ont gardé mon aile gauche, elles sont
Oh,
dans la
that's
vie.
the left one.
Le bébé était sorti aussi inconsciemment. Et après 20 heures, je me suis réveillée.
So she delivered 20 hours later. She wake up.
Et j'ai demandé à ma soeur si j'ai accouché.
She asked to her sister, "Did I deliver?"
Parce que j'ai accouché sans le savoir.
Because she didn't know. She was in the state of.
Right, unconscious.
Et après 3 jours, je me suis assombrie. J'étais rentrée dans le coma.
3 days later, she fell into coma.
Et le docteur spécialiste en Afrique qui voulait me sauver pour m'enlever mon utérus a coupé mon urétère gauche.
That's the worst.
Harder, worse. So, you know, she has a uterus is in state of necrosis. So that means it needs to be removed.
Removed.
So
She
the
can't no more
surgeon
kid.
was supposed to do surgery on her, cut
The left
the
ureter.
left
Ureter.
Uterus.
No,
Ureter.
That means the tube that brings urine out. So you remember, she's already have her left kidney damage.
Il n'a pas,
Now the uter, the ones bring the urine into outside also.
il n'a pas tenu compte, il n'a pas attaché les ovaires. Et au bout de 3 jours, les ovaires se sont nécrosés dans mon ventre.
So this is even, it's not in the book here. You won't find it, no way.
Yeah.
No way. So, some way the doctor probably cut a vessel, as you know. So that means also 3 days later, the ovary get necrosis.
Après, j'ai fait une septicémie et une occlusion intestinale. J'étais tombée dans le coma.
With that, the infection was
And she went in a
systemic,
coma.
and she had sepsis. And then she said again she went fell into coma.
Coma.
Et on a dépensé tout ce qu'on avait, mon mari et moi.
Because there's no universal health coverage, her husband and her have to use all the assets for his out-of-pocket.
Au bout du temps, ça a été impossible. Le bébé aussi a eu un choc au niveau de la tête et dans le ventre. Il a eu des problèmes avec les intestins.
Okay, you know the way the baby was delivered because of that. He was impacted neurologically and also within the intestinal system. He was also impacted.
Comme c'est en Afrique, c'est une affaire, c'est devenu politique, ils ont refusé de m'aider.
Because it's happened in Africa, we don't generalize here, that issue became politicized.
J'ai passé 3 mois à terre, entre la vie et la mort.
For 3 months, she was between life and death, literally on the floor.
J'ai manqué même les couches. C'est les couches du bébé qu'on coupait et les gens amenaient que je portais.
No resources, as she was bleeding, they were using the diaper of the baby, not even the entire one, to see if they were cutting it. And
C'est après que les gens ont cotisé pour m'envoyer au Maroc.
that's after the people fundraised and they were able to evacuate her to Morocco.
Chez nous, j'ai fait 3 opérations qui sont ratées. Donc, c'est au Maroc qu'on m'a arrangé, on m'a mis un tuyau autour
Yeah.
pour m'arranger.
So, in her country, she was operated 3 times before she got lifted to Morocco. And in Morocco, they use, since she cannot urinate, so they use a drainage. They put it in the kidney and then outside, so that's serving the uterus with impact us.
Ça m'a provoqué une dépression.
She, like, was depressed. She was depressed. She's not depressed. You know the word depression, that's not what we say, little one, but
Et je me suis permis de faire une interview pour parler de mon état, parce que mon état n'était pas un état de droit.
she had the courage to go offline and to talk about her spouse because that was not acceptable.
C'est ça,
And
donc,
there was here literally no right.
donc ils sont à ma poursuite. Donc j'ai dû laisser mes 5 enfants et mon mari pour me réfugier ici.
So she left the country and came here as a refugee with her children and her husband. Wow.
Et grâce à Dieu,
Oh my goodness.
merci. Grâce à Dieu. Je remercie l'État américain pour l'assistance et les bonnes volontés.
She was thankful
Thankful.
to America, welcoming her and her family.
Merci beaucoup de m'avoir écouté et vos prières pour moi. Un jour, je puisse retrouver mes photos.
I think we all understand. I think we need to raise. Sometimes we need people that do that work. You have to get yourself together. And it's very important that when you go home, you make Alicia a call of action. She doesn't need money. She needs your voice. She needs your voice. Because if she's the one who were here talking about that behind her, there's really more
Right,
people.
right.
And not only in Africa, but all
Around the
over
world.
the world.
après ça arrive à aucune femme au monde entier.
She doesn't want this to happen to anyone, any other woman. So, money counts, but our voice can go deeper and
Father.
further.
Mm-hmm.
We salute you. We salute you. Well, is it not life goes on?
Wow.
But we've been impacted. We cannot go home and keep this silent. We have a voice, we have a platform. We're going to take questions later.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, that was a story that I'm really deeply sorry for what you went through. Yeah. It's such an impact. So I'm like, you know, when someone cries, it just
Yes.
hurts, you know? Yeah, to just hear stories so deep. My name is Gugu Makari. I'm from South Africa. I'm a chair commission on women's rights and youth council. I'm with different organizations, 2 accredited at the UN. And I also serve in my church cooking for homeless people, so I have a soup kitchen. As well as doing a lot of community work in the Bronx, in Harlem, for years now, since from when I lived in South Africa. Anyway, my story, my background, I'm a health and skincare therapist, and I also started business management. I studied a lot of other things like related to business, as well as being peer trained through Alliance for Positive Change here in New York. But I remember when I was a little girl growing up, I think I was like 18 at that point when my mom actually and my stepdad forced me into a marriage with my stepdad's cousin, who was very, very old. And the reason for that was because my dad told me he can't afford to take me. In fact, he refused to take me to school. He told me he can't take me to school. My mom couldn't take me to school. She couldn't afford it. And later on, I ended up having men take me to school, you know. But just to go back a little bit, during the time I was being forced to now get married to an older man by my own mother, I got pregnant. And by the time that happened, I already knew I wasn't going to be able to stay in that situation. Like every single day, I was drinking alcohol at 18, drinking myself to smithereens just to avoid sleeping next to this man that my parents forced me to. In the interim, my stepdad tried to rape me. Then I finally eventually ran away. When I ran away, I found out that I was pregnant by this older man that I was forced into a marriage with. And I had no one else to go tell but my mother, so I went to tell her what happened. But the trauma that came was the abortion that I had to go through. Because we didn't have much money, they had to give me the pills to take and then abort myself at home. So it was such a terrible, horrible situation that led me later when I got married to have a postmortem depression. I can tell you, it took me 2 years to bond with my son. My only son. I couldn't explain the feeling that I had. No one could quite frankly understand. Thank God, the man that I was married to was a little older than me, and he really wanted to have kids. So he was very protective of my son. He wanted a child to himself, so that helped me. But I can't imagine how many more women go through postpartum depression, and I hardly ever hear anyone talk about it. You know, it took me so while I was struggling, I was battling inside. I felt like I hated my own son. I was feeling guilty as a young mother. But that was due to the fact that I also had to raise my own siblings. At 12 years, I was one of those girls that had my siblings on my back, while I have another one crying and I'm cooking, and yet I'm also washing hands with my own hands outside. And mind you, at home we have so many businesses. I also had to be serving customers at the same time. So I grew up with such responsibilities my whole life. So, as well as I went through so many sexual harassments, including one that is ongoing. A man out of nowhere, I was just at a prayer session at the state building in Harlem, praying for our leaders. A man just came there, put his hands on my private parts during prayer. And do you think anyone did anything? No one did anything to help. No one did nothing. I called 911 on my own while the pastors were there. Mind you, Christ Embassy was part of the event. Big entities were part of that, including our government, the government here was there. Like, there was a government building where this whole thing happened. And they're telling me, oh, this guy is just going to get misdemeanor. How does he get misdemeanor when they were looking for him for other crimes that are similar? So you see, we always often have to justify ourselves as women. I can tell you so many harassment cases that I've gone through with men that were not reported because it's kind of pointless to report these cases. A lot of women can testify to that. A lot of men don't report a lot of rape cases, especially that have happened amongst their families. Yeah. So I'm just going to leave it here for now, and then I'll pass it to the next speaker. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Boji Akasham. I applaud the two of you, the last two speakers, for coming out. And the reason that I do what I do is because of people like that. I am a radiation therapist by profession. I've worked in the cancer space for over 40 years. But the pain of seeing people, so many Nigerians, they come in, they are diagnosed, usually late, and you tell them this is how much it's going to cost, and majority of them just go home and just forget. And I couldn't in all consciousness continue to do my profession seeing that on a daily basis. And that's why I started the NGO that I started. I'm the first radiation therapist in Nigeria, at least in Nigeria, to start an NGO that you have clinics to treat patients. We treat the patients, we look for money to ensure that they get treatment, we give them counseling, we ensure that they don't leave there without any hope, because it's a devastating thing to tell somebody you have cancer and then it's a full stop. They don't know what to do, they don't know how to go about it, and when they don't have any finance, they just think, well, you know what, put my house in order, tell my children I'm going to live for long, and that literally was what was happening in Nigeria. And so my NGO, what we've been doing is we have the clinics, we ensure that the patients are well looked after, and then ensure that they have a continuity, and we do screening, a lot of awareness and things like that. So we need to continue to do that, not only in cancer care, but in all other aspects of healthcare in Nigeria. Thank you for listening.
I'm Dr. Tutu Musa Diallo, born and raised in Mali, speak French and Bambara. I'm glad to be here. I founded Grace Leadership Foundation Inc. in 2015, and right now the leadership is being transferred to Alimatu. So I'm here to talk about postpartum care. You've heard a lot of these women talking about what they experience. It's a serious issue, and the United States is behind all developed countries. So we need to do something about taking care and supporting women during their pregnancy and after pregnancy.
Amen.
Mortality happens during that time after giving birth and to 1 year. So I'm here ready to advocate for all of us, even young girls who are getting pregnant, giving birth earlier. So let's do something to bring together all policy makers and non-profit leaders and anybody who can really come in to help us do what we do best.
Thank you. We would like to continue if we had any time, but we hear two challenges, beautiful ladies, and we also heard of a solution. We can talk at length about healthcare. This is just a platform to live out and to bring our voices. Yeah. We also, I want to summarize it very briefly because of the time. Everything was so impactful. We raised so much issue. We also opened door to so much resources and solution as well. So it's just the beginning.
Yeah.
So we are calling for next year to be here. You're gonna be kept informed of what we are doing and how we can also support you, and how your program or your challenge, your solution can align to what we've been doing. We had a lot of questions, but sometimes you need to know how to handle it. And we would like to end it with a note of hope. It should have been giving you 2 minutes for the last word, but I'm gonna give it to you to close that session. Okay, if we are allowed to do that, we can.
30 seconds each.
Yes, 30 seconds each. Yes, I'm gonna start back to 2.
Okay, I really appreciate everything. This is our collaboration with Princess Dr. Bredin, and it's been really wonderful. This is our second time doing program together, and I love to see this program going and our collaboration really flourishing. Thank you all for being here. Thank you the speaker, the panelists, all of the people. The one who made the food, Jamila, thank you, and the Nigerian Embassy. We said thank you. Thank you for hosting us.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for this opportunity, Princess Moradin. You are doing fantastic work, and I know that we cannot get anywhere without collaborations. So anybody who wants to collaborate in any area of working with each other, that is the only way we can make an impact. I'm willing to help any which way that I can.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And most importantly, thank you to our hosts for accommodating us and in this platform. And I just want to say briefly that let's create more and more safe spaces for women where we can talk about these problems, genuinely, authentically talk about these problems without filter. You know, because it's hard to talk about the real issues that we're battling with. We're going through a lot of trauma. I know I'm still dealing with my trauma at 42 years. I'm still dealing with that because I didn't have a lot of people around my side that I could trust, or either I trusted them, they would take what I've told them in secrecy to go speak about it to someone else. So let's teach ourselves as women to keep things like in secrecy to us. Like, let's be each other's sisters. You know, that will help us a lot and will go far, you know. Thank you very much.
Thank you everybody for listening to me. I wish peace to every woman. Je souhaite une bonne chance à toutes les femmes et je ne veux aucun mal à aucune femme au monde actif, surtout lors de l'accouchement. Prenons soin de nos enfants, de nos filles, et futures mamans et de nous. Je souhaite la paix pour toutes les femmes. Merci.
So my whole family is an acupuncture doctor. I do acupuncture since I'm 13 years. I help people. And now a lot of ambassador spouse do acupuncture. This is the healthiest way we do it. So now I like to lead everybody. We just deep breathing, inhale, hold it, 1, 2, 3, exhale. You feel comfortable, right? One more time. Inhale. Hold it. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Hold it. 1, 2, 3. We say happiness.
title. You will leave from here, please, please, please. Leave your email, leave your contact. We may have a attendance sheet, but it's very important that
We can create one now.
there's people that create it.
Somebody
So
create
please,
it.
please, please.
Halima,
And,
whoever can fill out their email and phone number.
This is Princess Macron. Thank you so much. What an amazing, amazing job you did as the mistress of ceremony. We really appreciate it. So, you know one of the words that each and every one of you that you eat on, and even the panel before and the one before that, is really about collaboration, the idea of partnership. Even with the SDP, that's why you have the partnership for the goals. And one of the things I always say is that collaboration is the new currency. And anyone that's not using it is leaving a lot of resources and money on the table. We don't want to do that. Thank you all so much. There's plenty of food right there. So please get food and everything. And before we close up, so we have Miss Halima too. She wears so many hats. She wears so many hats. She is the Executive Director of Grace Leadership Foundation Incorporated. Now this young lady is brilliant enough ramification. I'm going to give it to her so that she can talk a little about it. But not only that, but she's the program director for our Ambassador for Peace, for the AWHPI Ambassador for Peace initiatives. So we are so happy to have her. Between me and Dr. Tutu. Dr. Tutu and I are sisters, and this is our newborn. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. I always say, I have a slogan, right? PMP, practice make, perfect, yeah. So, as I'm not that much in public speaking, but I'm going to, go ahead and do it. Thank you so much, everyone, to be here. I'm Halimatu Hamida Muni. I'm the Executive Director of Grace Leadership Foundation, Inc. I got the privilege to be part of the organization Tutu. She sounds nice, and I am smart, and I love to do that. Okay, and then she's a beautiful too. Right there. Yes. And then also, through that, I met Princess Tutu, and now they divided me now. I'm like the two now between the both friends. But I'm so happy to have this first edition of the CW59. It was really amazing through the event that we had yesterday at the Harvard Club, to here, and to the collaboration that we do. So Grace Leadership Foundation is a non-for-profit organization that helps to uplift the community. So we work mostly with women and advanced postpartum care, and we also have our youth initiative that work with the UN, and then we also have a bigger youth assembly that comes. We have the leadership skills that we introduce to you. And then as part of the youth, I have a really love to help. And I see how both ladies, and I can see I'm the baby here. And then the baby to hold such a great, big, beautiful position. Sometimes I feel shy. So I'm the cute director. But at the same time, I really don't know how to thank both ladies to give me the opportunity to be where I'm at right now. As you are the leaders of tomorrow, and then I'm starting my leadership now, and with that, this great position. So again, I'm also the program coordinator and director of the HWHPI Ambassador for Peace Initiative, where we group leaders that work for the community, and then we honor them as they're really doing a great job. And then also we have the collaboration between Grace Leadership Foundation and AWHPI through our Mother First program and then Healthy Mother, Healthy Family program, where again, the whole idea for that program is to uplift the women, give them like health, and then give them like a platform to really express themselves. And like we have our both victims of maternal health, postpartum care, or any I feel like women's voice should be heard. And the same thing that like we keep saying, like we youth are the leaders, and then we feel like youth, quote unquote, women, we are the leaders. Like Mother Queen said, without women, without women cooperation, the world will not be what it is right now. So I really thank everybody to be here, and then I will look forward to partner Grace and then AWHPR. We all open up to partnership. I thank you guys, and maybe by next year will be better than today. PMP!
We want to use this opportunity to invite you all. Have any of you been to Qatar before? No, Qatar. Who's ready to go to Qatar?
I'm ready.
Yeah, okay. We are hosting the First Ladies Forum and Economic Development Summit. It's going to be taking place in Qatar.
Okay.
April 22nd to 25th. Next month.
That's
Next month. So make sure you sign up whenever you get ready, because we host Qatar and we host Dubai. So the next one and Cambodia. So 25. Yeah, because once we leave from Qatar, we go to Cambodia.
Okay.
But yes, I mean seriously, see us if you are interested. It's going to be amazing powerhouse of female leaders, first ladies, ambassadors, ministers. You have the better. So I want to take this opportunity to invite each and every one of you to join us over there. And I'll hand it over to Dr. Georgie, who is going to close out. And please get some food while we're